Flying objects and shrunken heads, World UFO Day faded amid surge and sightings, government denials. Norfolk, Virginia AP. For those of you who don't celebrate World UFO Day, consider this. Never mind that the Pentagon denied the former intelligence officer's claims. That Mexican researchers said the mummies made no sense, and that a NASA study found no evidence of extraterrestrials.
Posterior. Tierra de diatomea. La diatomea es una alga fosilizada con 17 millones. Estos seres tienen alrededor de 1000 años de antigüedad. Es decir, o sea, si el ADN nos está demostrando que no son...
Congreso de los Estados Unidos y ante otros testigos de estos fenómenos.
Aquí hoy vamos a presentar dos seres que fueron recuperados en Perú en una mina de diatomea. Son cuerpos desecados encontrados entre las ciudades de Palpa y de Nazca en 2017, manipulados en su interior y que tienen una serie de elementos.
Solo un paréntesis, yo no soy ufólogo, desde los años 90 me formé en las filas del periódico
Gutiérrez Luna por esta apertura, sin duda alguna un evento histórico.
Congreso de los Estados Unidos y ante otros testigos de estos fenómenos.
La tradición era cuando moría algún personaje importante, se enterraban algunos niños con ese personaje. Y hay muchas momias en Perú y enterramientos de niños con personajes importantes. Maussan dice que descubrió esto en un enterramiento. Ahora, el que sean restos no humanos no significa que sean extraterrestres. Puede ser una lagartija muerta y es un resto no humano y es un fósil y no es un resto no humano y no quiere decir que haya venido de otro lado.
Sobre todos los temas. La Casa del Pueblo, siempre estará abierta para todas y todos. Muchas gracias.
There's still never been a better time to mark World UFO Day. A look at the history of World UFO Day. Aliens, or just balloons and crash test dummies. World UFO Day has its roots in the so-called Roswell incident on July 2nd, 1947. On that date, something crashed at what was then the J.B. Foster Ranch in New Mexico. There were reports that the U.S. military had recovered a flying disc, but officials later said the debris was merely the remnants of a high-altitude weather balloon.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection. Late this afternoon, a bulletin from New Mexico suggested that the widely publicized mystery of the flying saucers may soon be solved. Army Air Force officers reported that one of the strange discs had been found and inspected sometime last week. Our correspondents in Los Angeles and Chicago have been in contact with Army officials endeavoring to obtain all possible late information. Joe Wilson reports to us now from Chicago.
The Army may be getting to the bottom of all this talk about the so-called flying saucer. As a matter of fact, the 509th Atomic Bomb Group headquarters at Roswell, New Mexico, reports that it has received one of the discs which landed on a ranch outside Roswell. The disc landed at a ranch at Corona, New Mexico, and the rancher turned it over to the Air Force. Rancher W.W. Brazell was the man who discovered the saucer. Colonel William Blanchard of the Roswell Air Base refuses to give details of what the flying disc looks like. In Fort Worth, Texas, where the object was first sent, Brigadier General Roger Ramey says that it is being shipped by air to the AAF Research Center at Wright Field, Ohio. A few moments ago, I talked to officials at Wright Field, and they declared that they expect the so-called flying saucer to be delivered there, but that it hasn't arrived as yet. In the meantime, General Ramey describes the object as being of flimsy construction. almost like a box type. He says that it was so battered that he was unable to determine whether it had a disc form, and he does not indicate its size. Ramey says that so far as can be determined, no one saw the object in the air, and he describes it as being made of some sort of tinfoil. Other Army officials say that further information indicates that the object had a diameter of about 20 to 25 feet, and that nothing in the apparent construction indicated any capacity for speed, and that there was no evidence of a power plant. The disc also appeared too flimsy to carry a man. Now, back to Taylor Grant in New York.
There was important activity within the UN Security Council today.
The Air Force investigated the incident in 1990 for amid charges that it was covering up the truth. It concluded that the supposed alien spacecraft was likely a secret Army Air Force balloon designed to monitor Soviet nuclear testing. The material found near Roswell consisted of foil-wrapped fabric, wooden sticks, rubber pieces, and small I-beams with strange markings on them. A local newspaper headline described the find dramatically and unequivocally, Air Force captures flying saucer on ranch. The Air Force research did not locate or develop any information that the Roswell incident was a UFO event, wrote Call. Richard Weaver, author of the report.
Today, we have Bill Nelson, our NASA administrator.
In June of last year, NASA commissioned an independent study team to examine unidentified anomalous phenomena. We did so with a few goals in mind. First, to examine how NASA can use our expertise and instruments to study UAP from a scientific perspective. Second, shift the conversation about UAP from sensationalism to science, and to make sure that whatever we find or whatever we recommend, to make sure that information is shared transparently. In my comments here today, that we, NASA, deal openly and we will be transparent on this. And the top takeaway from the study is that there is a lot more to learn. The NASA independent study team did not find any evidence that UAP have an extraterrestrial origin, but we don't know what these UAP are. That's why I'm announcing that NASA has appointed a NASA Director of UAP Research.
Dude, there's a fucking drone, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots to the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is the LNS, dude. Well, if there's like... Look at that thing. It's rotating.